Hi, my loves. Welcome to Remember Who the Fuck You Are So the Game Can Change, or welcome back to Remember Who the Fuck You Are So the Game Can Change. This podcast is about stepping you up. It is about honoring your path and illuminating what's next and stepping into your truth and who you came here to be. So, if this is something that you're like, oh, okay, cool, stay tuned, subscribe, head over to Kira Marie Divinely Guided or Ascension School on social platforms and follow me for more information there. All right, my loves, let's dive into this week's episode. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for those who are new. Hi, welcome. I'm Kira Marie. And for those who are returning, so grateful to you. Thank you so much for tuning into this one and continuing this a journey that I've embarked on. So today, a little different, right? So for those who don't know, and quite possibly you may not know, is I am actually an internationally accredited image consultant. And image consultant is, I feel like it's always been just a really old term. The new current thing of how to explain it or a better understanding is fashion stylist. So I trained back in 2007. Oh my goodness, 2007. I trained to become an image consultant, fashion stylist, and I did a program with Claire Maxfield, who owns Image Innovators, and embarked on one of my passions, one of my truths, one of something that just sparked joy within me. So growing up, I loved my fashion. That was, and I guess looking back on it, that's one thing that I could control, right? What I wore and how I showed up for the world and what I bought and what I wanted the world to see me as. Interesting, right? So I would love going shopping. I would even love designing clothes. Before I knew even what the bolero was, I had sketched out a bolero with a strapless dress for my year 12 formal back in, I think it was 1999. Oh my goodness. I'm really showing my age. Um, I loved sketching clothes. I loved Barbies and their clothes and accessories. So we lived in Adelaide, grew up for majority of my teenage years in Adelaide and early. And my auntie and cousin still lived in country, South Australia, which is about 7.5 hours away. So country, there were no shops. So they would frequent Adelaide, and my auntie would do a buy up for their kids, and she would give me. She had three kids, two girls, one boy, and she would give me a list of what the girls all needed, and I would go and buy it for them. So doing shopping for others, but then also for myself, I just absolutely loved them. And I also saw that that's my mum loved shopping. She loved fashion. She loved accessories. She loved dressing up and I think that's where it started, to be honest. And then I just continued it. I remember back when I was in my early teens, mid late teens, I loved experimenting. And whether that was with my clothes or my hair. Um, and I would just do things because I liked it. I loved it. I didn't care about what anyone else thought. It didn't even um, come into my mind that someone else may not like it or may comment on it. And I remember I had a best mate, Cams, and his brother was older. And I remember going to he worked in a movie store, but it was like a DVD movies store. That's I think it was like Blockbuster, maybe. That's how old and how long ago this was. And I remember I had put my hair up in little clips, and uh, I was rocking it. I thought I looked good. My friend didn't say anything, and then went to go pick a movie or something, or go see his brother, and his brother's like, "Oh, that's interesting hairstyle." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." Didn't comprehend that interesting was probably not a compliment. It wasn't until years later I'm like, "Oh, hang on, maybe that maybe that wasn't a compliment. Maybe that wasn't a oh, that looked cool. Maybe that was like, I'm not really sure how to say this, but that doesn't look good." In his eyes anyway. So yeah, I loved fashion, and moving to Melbourne in my early 20s, it was I just felt like Melbourne's fashion was a step up from Adelaide's. I felt like it was more of a hub, it was more of a sophisticated, eclectic. Um, Whereas Adelaide, I feel, and I still feel like, is more of a country town type of vibe, and not quite as elite, let's say, as Melbourne. So when I moved there, I was just like, oh my goodness, like this is so cool. So the way why and how I got into to be a fashion stylist is when my mum passed away, which I'm yet to do a my truth on. That part is coming. So my mum passed away when I was in my early 20s, and um, yeah, that gave me time and space to go, what do I want? What do I want to do? It gave me the freedom to say, okay, so if money wasn't an issue, what would I gravitate towards? What would I love to do? What sparks joy? What lights me up? And I not stumbled, right? I was divinely guided to image consulting, and learning about the do's and the don'ts. And this is the era where, if you're as old as I am, you would remember Trini and Susanna, What Not to Wear. It was a bit of a cult, to be honest. It was a beautiful opening up into fashion, and giving you the rules and the tips and the tricks and do's and don'ts on fashion, um, and helping women learn more. Because if you think about it, right, that's one thing we're not taught. Like, we're taught how to put on clothes, put your arm through a hole, your head through that hole, put your leg through, zip it up, button it up. But that's about it, right? We're not taught on proportions. We're not taught on the rule of three. We're not taught on why an outfit looks good, or what, when we look in the mirror and we're like, oh, I don't know. We're not taught on, okay, switch something out, try this, try that. It's just, here's your outfit, put it on, off you go. So I loved that aspect of it. So I then embarked on that journey of image consulting, learning colors, learning style, um, learning it all. During my training, is quite interesting. Where my teacher Claire, she decided to just put all of the. We hadn't gone through the colors yet. There's color groups, so there was in her program there was 14 color groups. So you may have been aware of 4 color groups of the season, so autumn, winter, spring, summer, as a color group, and that was the way it was back in the day. And it has evolved since then. So at that time there was 14 color groups, and so she put them all down on the floor, and so the colors were on top, and little did I know that there was the answers on the bottom. So she's like, put all the colors into the color groups and let me know when you're done. I'm like, okay, cool, no worries. So I started doing it. And she came in about halfway and she's like, oh, you've noticed or realized that the answer's on the bottom. I'm like, no, no, I haven't. She's like, what? I said, no, I was just putting them into what I thought. She's like, but you got them all right. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then I then started second guessing myself. And I've had that a few times along my life and along my story where the first time I would get it down pat, and then people would question me that I've done something to, I've fluked it, or I've cheated, or whatever. And then that doubt that they had that I would then take on would affect me, and I would take that on and continue it. Anyway, that's another episode. So I went through the program, and I then opened Image Confidence by Kira Murray. I think it was Kira, just by Kira. So Image Confidence, and started a business in Melbourne, which was great. Along my journey, that has taken a life of its own, and I then um, stopped that with 5 kids, and then picked it back up again and started Style Me 5 Ways, which was really, really cool and online, and would do op shopping tours, and I would do wardrobe detoxes and shopping tours as well, and uh, color consults. It was just a lot of fun. And before all the influencers started, I was doing try-ons, live try-ons, and yeah, it was a great time. And then I needed to go deeper. I needed to not just focus on the outside. I need to then step inside, and that's where my spiritual journey started. Why am I telling you all this? This actually wasn't the whole point of my podcast today. What my podcast inspiration was today was I was going through my wardrobe, and I'd been thinking about all of my clothes, and I go through a stage where I go and wash all of them, and then have them all in. We just have racks here because the house doesn't have wardrobes anyway. So I just have my clothes on racks, and yeah, and then as I wear them, unfortunately, and whatever, they end up on the floor. And then I get to where there's not many on the racks left, and I'm like, oh man, I need to do some washing. And I got to that point, and also I'm about to fly out to Bali for a retreat the end of this week. So this will be a few weeks after I fly out to Bali. This podcast will come out, but So I was going through and going, okay, like start to pack and look at outfits to wear. And then I'm like, you know what? I actually want to go through my wardrobe and do a detox. And that's the thing. This is the whole point of this podcast is we change, we evolve, we grow so quickly and so much that we need to go through our wardrobes. We need to detox our wardrobes and let go of the old version of us and step into the new version of us, to let go of pieces of clothing that once served us that no longer is going to be serving us or no longer needs to be in our wardrobe or deserves a spot in our wardrobe. So I started going through my clothes, and my process of detoxing my wardrobe is having a pile for op shop, a pile of throwaway, a pile of alter, and a pile of keep. So I was going through and just, I don't know if anyone has gone and done, watched, I should say, Marie Kondo, where she holds it and just check to see if it sparks joy within them. So I kind of do something similar where I just hold the piece, feel intuitively yes or no. Am I ready to let it go? And then if I say yes, but there's a little bit of doubt, then I'll question that and just go, okay, what is it that is it saying an instant yes? Is it something that I need to alter? Or is it like a memory, or is it an emotion? And working through that. Today was a little different though. Today was a little different. So for those who don't know, we lived in Victoria, country Victoria, for about 15 years. And that was a journey in itself. Podcast coming, or episode coming, I should say, not a podcast. Oh my God, an episode coming about that. But yeah, it was what it needed to be, right? And it was a lot of survival mode. And we've moved to New South Wales in Wollongong, which is just incredible. We've been here 18 months, which is blown and crazy in itself. But even just being here for 18 months, the level up that I've done, oh my goodness me, like I'm a whole different person. I'm not who I was back then. And I'm sure you're not the same either. So while I was going through my wardrobe and seeing which items I wanted to keep, and I had my rack there for the keep pile, and I had my donate pile, and something just didn't feel right. Something didn't feel aligned. So I then had a download from my guides, higher self, my team above, where they said you need to hold each garment and ask a question. I'm like, okay. So I took one off the hanger. So it was just the energy of the garment itself, and that's it. I stood there, feet planted on the ground, on the floor. I held it in my hands and in my up to my heart chakra. I took a deep breath and I said, does my soul want me to keep this garment? Does my soul want me to wear this garment? And it was a kinesiology tool where you ask your guides to either which way is yes, which way is no. So for me, I know that when I ask a question that way, I will get a push in my body backwards if it's a no. I will get a push forward if it's a yes. And I will stand still if it's a maybe, uh, maybe yes for now. So that's what I did. I then went back through all of my items that I had said yes to, and I went one by one, holding it, asking my soul, my higher self, for the version, not for who I am today, because that's about to change, but for the version of me that I'm stepping into, the version of me who I am evolving into, the version of me that I am ready for. So I went one by one again and asked my soul, is this what you want to wear? Do you want to keep this? And I was really surprised. Some of the things that I thought was going to be a yes and would have been a yes if I didn't do it this way went to the no pile, went to the donate pile. I even questioned a couple. I'm like, you sure? Soul, are you sure? Um, and I'm like, no, trust. This isn't what you're stepping into. This isn't the version of you that you're stepping into. And also when the little thing in my throat, Jacques was like, but you're gonna have like not much left. And then instantly I had another thought of, yeah, but one door closes, one door opens. That means you releasing this and you letting go of this piece of clothing means you're opening up for a new one. You're opening up the doors for something new to step in, something more aligned for you to step into, for you to wear, for you to love, cherish, and feel fucking damn good in. So then I was like, okay, let it go. I encourage you to go through your wardrobe. We are in a time at the moment where we are up leveling so much, so much. And I feel like I want to get emotional because, like, we've been through it. If you're following me, that means you've been through it too, because we're on the same energy frequency. And if you haven't, you're about to. Sorry to burst your bubble, but you're about to. Because this isn't coasting. We're not coasting anymore. We're not putting our head under the sands. We're not just going, oh, well, it don't matter. We'll just let it go slide. that's not that's not cutting it anymore. That's not who we are. Like that's just not. So we're doing the work, which means that we are evolving at a rapid pace. We are exploring at a rapid pace, and things are about to turn. I feel it in my core that things are about to turn, that those who have been struggling are about to get a break. They're about to shift into abundance and freedom and excitement and joy and bliss, pure bliss. And that version of you is ready. That version of you is stepping up. That version of you is aligning to a higher frequency. And with that, your wardrobe, which is really, if you think about it, your wardrobe is a valuable piece of fucking real estate. With how expensive homes are, whether that is you bought your own home and have a mortgage or amazing and don't, or if you're renting, we are renting and holy mackerel, she's expensive. I think we pay more than what a mortgage would be. But anyway, so no matter where you are with your house, it's a valuable piece of real estate, your wardrobes. So the pieces in there need to spark fucking joy. They need to be soul aligned. They need to be your true essence and reflect who the fuck you are, not just who you were, but who you are now, who you are today, and who you're stepping in to be. So, this is your invitation to go through your wardrobe. This is also your invitation that if you would like help and guidance with that, hit me up. I do wardrobe detoxes, and I'm going to anyone who mentions this podcast can receive. This is just completely off the cusp. Can receive a wardrobe detox for 2 hours. Have me either on Zoom or if you're in Illawarra, or if you'd like me to fly to your home and do it with you, then it's 199 for the 2 hours, and 149 for every hour there afterwards. And I will help you go through and be intuitive with your style, and it's not just the wardrobe detox, it's understanding your style, where you're stepping into, who you're stepping into, and aligning both your body, mind, and soul. Because that's what I used to do, is just focus on the body, the outside, without going connecting within. Now we have a full circle. Now we have the whole picture of the body, mind, and soul that I bring to the table. And I can help align with you with your style that you're stepping into, and the person you're stepping into, and your higher self, who she is at her core and who she is on the outside, for you to reflect that now as you're stepping into her. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you got takeaways. If you'd like to know more, check out the notes below. Check out kiramarie.com.au for all my services, and follow me on socials as well. Why not join me on my Facebook styling group, Style Me 5 Ways, and then you and your style. All right, my loves, hope you have an amazing day today. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Let's see what spirit has in store for us then. All right, my loves. See ya.